And obviously a large car park, but that will slowly start to reduce down. At peak was over 2,200 odd staff mobilised, not just this site but all of the shaft sites as well. I didn't realise that there is an expertise in concrete mixing. So there you go. There you go. Amazing. That was where the service station was meant to be going. That site there, around there. We've protected that lovely oak tree. Railway systems company. I couldn't possibly comment on saying when the railway line will be open. Driving sheds.
No, it's certainly not short of working space.
No, we're very
Yeah,
so they're about 12, 13 metres below the M25. So quite
feel it.
8 staff around the site because we don't have parking at all of our sites, so especially in this area. So do a lot of dust suppression on site. You can see 7 segments to a ring, effectively of the tunnel lining. 56,000 for each tunnel. So if you go online a year ago, so you would have just had them all lined up, thousands of them. Journeymen, steel fixers, they actually built the moulds out of steel rebar with their hands. It was all done, so quite incredible as well. Some still left just.
Is that because they're all different, all the rings are different?
Yeah, every single segment was slightly different. Yeah, okay. They're match cast in the factory. So yeah, each viaduct, 1,000 segments to the viaduct. Just a bit longer. This will be good once the viaduct factory goes, because for people living locally, it's the biggest eyesore. And also it creates a lot of light pollution as well because it's a 24/7 operation. Yeah, you can see it. It's not good. But basically, all the final segments now are effectively drying in the sun. You see that to reduce the amount of concrete used, because obviously it's not good for the environment. They have these huge gaps in it. Obviously, the round circles for all the utilities, steel tensioning cables, and all of the everything that we needed to run the railway. They will run through them. So they're all slightly different. How they know which one is which, I don't know.
Trust they resolve the problem with the pre-tension when they got to the canal and stuck there.
No, it's actually that was literally a bit of concrete that wasn't quite right about that by that. We do get some contamination. It's treated here before it's released back into the water catchment area. We have our own specialist water team place. So this is all the topsoil that's been stored going back onto it. So this will all go, this will all become landscaping. I don't know quite how that works, but so this is sort of the old Shire Lane sort of would have been in this area. It's going to come round and go under the viaduct. So this is where the viaduct started to be constructed from. So this is what we call the North Embankment. That's the sort of apron there. So we're about to drive underneath the viaduct, which has now got its walls, and in some just here I think they have got the north. No longer possible, so sadly, but we'll go as far as we can. So a year ago, all of these piers were in sort of cofferdams, so we'll get as far as we can, give a little bit of difference to everything. This will also be publicly accessible. They're going to be quite frequent. That's the next bit, yeah. And they run at night. The view is not out the window. It's more what's inside of them. It's about social media. Okay, lovely. Thank you, Annie, for that. Bye then. where we interface with SCS Railways, who are building the next section down through to Old Oak Common. That's it. So yes, there she is. In all her glory.
Can't miss it, can you?
No. So 700 tonnes of steel
What, along the viaduct?
along the viaduct itself, along the trace of the viaduct. Yeah. Again, keeping it off local roads. So there you go. She's amazing, amazing. And so she's just on the sort of final V pier there. There you go. Brilliant. But now get told off. Get told off maybe now. Yeah. So actually, once at the minute there is a viewing platform here. But the building is in the way, you can't see it. So you stand on the viewing platform, nothing. So what if say in a month or so's time, come back, for those who want to, and we can, that viewing platform should hopefully, you can stand and see literally the launching girder. Yes, they really are coming on. So it's on the last week here, yeah, for land. It is, yeah, just makes it a big Lego set, isn't it? They're amazing, you know. Just blocks the view.
Yeah.
But once it's here, it's just here. And the banksman was on the phone, and I felt a coward. So not by me, but by those black hats, you know, the foreman. So I had to report it. So, but it's because it's a 24/7 site, and they were moving massive pieces of concrete. But if we can start to get rid of those buildings, even if they're there, not light them if they're not needed anymore.